Good to have you back. 6 more days before the governorship and state houses of assembly elections in 28 out of Nigeria's 36 states, citizens of Rivers State are still coming to terms with reported irregularities that marred last week's elections in that region. Apparently, the state chapter of Labour Party is not letting go of its complaint about being rigged out of an easy win in the presidential election by forces allegedly under the command of Governor Nyesom Wike. In the meantime, there seems to be remnants of some house cleaning to be done by the party as it contends with the emergence of a factional governorship candidate for Dan Princewill, a lawyer who was earlier today a guest on the morning show here on Arise News. And here's what he had to say regarding the situation.
Beatrice Itubo came in as a placeholder. The Labour Party had a lot of placeholders before Peter Obi came into the picture. Okay?
The Labour Party put an Amechi stooge as a placeholder.
Not knowingly. It is what they do is that they just surreptitiously go into all the parties. The parties really don't know, and that's why the parties are at the mercy of the what I would call anti-democratic oligarchs. Because I don't think Labour Party itself is part of that thing, but that's the way it is. And sometimes it happens in the states. She was state leader for Labour, okay? And she was particularly close to Governor Amechi when he was governor. These are all facts. And then when Wike came in and he had issues with Governor Amechi, with Governor Amechi, she was arrowhead in attacking. So the relationship is established and long. And then she became, she retired, but she was kept back, purely political. Even the Labour Union people were not happy about that. But she was doing so well, in fighting Wike for Amechi that she was kept there. So if you look at it, over the time, several efforts were made. We tried political solutions. The party elders, party leaders invited her several times to talk. She agreed that she would step down, but every now and then she would come up with one thing or the other. So when it became very clear, a court process, took place. So it is out of court order that the party got, that the party sent my name to INEC, and I have just been recently nominated and approved as a River State.
And that was for Dan Princewill on River State politics. But for her, a right of reply, we're now being joined from Arise Abuja studio by Beatrice Itubo, who is, as it is Labour Party's governorship candidate for River State. It's good to have you with us, Beatrice. Now, we would like, for the sake of clarity, to know who is the authentic governorship candidate for Labour for River State. You've heard Fafa Dan Princewill make his statement regarding your candidacy. So can you give us more clarity on this going into the elections next weekend?
Thank you. I think that clown was a distraction. He was actually paid to come and cause confusion in Labour Party in River State. All this while we have been in Labour Party, I contested for primaries. In fact, it's on record. I contested with Ineye Braid, who was one-time member of House of Reps, and I won in the primaries. I don't know where he's coming about with this cock and bull story of saying that I am a placeholder. Holding place for who? And so we contested, and I won. And at the end of the day, the party came to Port Harcourt and gave me the flag of the party. As we speak, I have my certificate of return, and we have been working. I have traversed the whole nooks and crannies of River State, campaigning for myself and our principal, Peter Obi. Nobody suffered further than prison. Only after the presidential election, 2 days after, I saw on the social media platform where somebody was displaying that he's now the governorship candidate of Labour Party. And as I said, day before yesterday, I was in the national office. I'm still in Abuja as we speak. I was with the national chairman. I was with our own principal, Peter Obi, and we all spoke. Nobody talked about that. And of course, go to INEC website. My name still remains there. Which court? Was I a party to the court? I don't know whether he went behind to get. I am sure opposition are paid because they have seen our rising profile. The obedience are not deterred by what happened that daylight robbery that happened on the 25th of February. They are willing to come out and replicate what they did on that 25th, on the 11th. Therefore, they are sponsoring him to come and cause distraction. So people will not be disillusioned to say, are you this woman who has worked so tirelessly to bring about the Labour Party standing in the state can be treated shabbily this way? They will not come out to vote. But I'm using this medium to call on our teaming supporters, the obedient family, that we should all come out on the 11th to replicate what we did on the 25th, because we know that that stolen mandate must be recovered. And I can put it to you that this is just a diversion. I don't even want to talk about that clown, because if you're at this age, you can be propelling lies, saying each time we discuss, I go to Amechi where? They all we are eating and dining. Today it is me that we don't want to. I know those who are behind him, but I don't want to mention names here. But at the end of the day, we have a national party where you can recourse back to. Go back and ask. We have the national chairman of the party is there. Our principal Peter Obi and all others, they know that we contested these primaries keenly, and I won. There was no, Papa Dampris was in nowhere close to the place where we held the primaries. We don't even know him. I was still a baby when I started hearing Papa Dampris. He has lost the political clout. He is nowhere, I'm sure. They have just given him some few frustrated Naira notes, and that's exactly why he's behaving the way. But it's a pity that at this age, a man of that age can begin to behave that way, because he's a fair lawyer. All the thing he didn't get during his youth, maybe he wants to get it now, but it is late and unfortunate. So I don't want to talk much about him, because I don't want to begin to have distraction. I want to be focused. I've told my lawyer to write to him, because after now, of course, I will meet him in the courts. So let's just forget about Fafa and let me tell you what I have for Rivers people.
Very good. You know, it's good you mentioned the word disillusioned, and you know, but be that as it may, you can't just wish this away. He's still making pronouncements everywhere regarding your candidacy, and that's not too good for the people of Rivers State. So, what has been the response of the electorate there regarding this scenario? Yes. What has been the reaction of people to
my party? Yes. My party has gone on air holding a press conference in the state, calling on Rivers people to jettison that claim that nobody gave Fafa than Princewill. He didn't pick form, and neither did he contest primaries. He's nowhere. So this is just for somebody that has been paid. It's a ploy to say they can distract our teaming followers, our obedient family. And we are saying no to that. That's why we don't want to give it prominence. Because as far as I'm concerned, Fafa than Princewill is inconsequential. And of course, Labour Party knows their candidate. The people know the candidate, so they go back to the National of Labour Party and find out who their candidate is. And of course, recourse back to INEC website and see who the candidate is. And so all these are their distractions. So I said, don't even give Fafa than Princewill prominence. As far as I'm concerned, it's a fraud. It's a scammer. Maybe he wants to collect money from people. You know, there are a lot of fraudulent characters everywhere. So Fafa is one of them. And I use this video to tell why many people of Rivers State not to give Fafa than Princewill any money, because he's not contesting for any election.
All right, the party in your state have said that you don't have any reason to worry, that they've thrown their weight behind you. Their issue focus on the polls. But let me actually now come back to what is very pertinent, which is what will happen on the 11th, next week, Saturday. Talk to us. River State.
Thank you. That's exactly the question I want to hear, not about
okay.
statements by some faceless people. That's exactly what I want to hear. I want to tell you that the teaming obedient family, the ever-growing profile of the obedient family, are coming out on the 11th to vote their preferred candidate, which is Beatrice Itubo of Labour Party, and all the House of Assembly candidates that are under Labour Party, because we want to use that to replicate what we did on the 25th, so that people can know that actually will be won more than 85% of the votes in Rivers State. And of course, we are going to reclaim that mandate.
All right.
Whether Satan likes it or not, we are going to reclaim that mandate.
Beatrice, you and I know that there is a teaming force and there is a Belmont in Rivers State, which is, first of all, the PDP, then the outgoing governor talking about Nyesom Wike. How do you intend to rally enough supporters to be able to probably beat at the polls PDP? Because Rivers State has been predominantly PDP. We've not found any party that has been able to put themselves together to challenge the PDP. The APC has tried and failed.
Let me tell you. The truth is that Labour Party is now on ground. People didn't have any other option. Now the viable option has come, which is Labour Party, the obedient family. And we have said we are taking over. Yes, the governor was there, but our party beat them hands down. Even in the polling unit of the governor, he failed. It's on record. So we know all these things. So come 11th, People that came out to vote on the 25th will still come out to replicate what they did, so they can lay credence to what we have done. So I'm using support to still call on the Obichai family and our teaming supporters to come out on the 11th and vote for all Labour Party candidates. Papa, Mama, Pikin is the symbol. And nothing, no Jupiter can stop us. No amount of intimidations, no distractions, no amount of bribery and carrying money here and there will deter people, because people have seen the money and they have seen that it is taking us to nowhere. So this time they are prepared to vote for good governance, and that's exactly what we represent.
Indeed, and hopefully the momentum of participation will be sustained. Beatrice Itubo, Labour Party's governorship candidate for River State, many thanks for your time.